Hey Soul fam, I'm in a different room of the house today, and there is a reason for that. Last night I had an experience that I really need to document. It's getting quite wild and exciting. I believe I'm in another spiritual awakening. I think we're continuously in a spiritual awakening. The more I think about it, we're just peeling off the layers of the things that are not us. Like, we're here as humans, but there's so much more to us. And that was what I was dreaming about last night. So no, not dreaming. I was awake. It was a waking vision / dream. I wasn't asleep. But I found myself, what I can only describe as perhaps what the Jacob's ladder, like, but it was, rather than a ladder going from earth to heaven, it was like a conveyor belt, what they called escalators, moving stairs. And I was on these stairs and I was moving up into these higher realms. But as I looked to my side, it was a bit like Harry Potter. There was all these moving stairs, and there were people on their own individual moving stairs, and we were all having our own individual unique experiences in these higher realms. I want to say heaven, but I don't know where it was, but it wasn't here. And I was watching all these moving stairs move, and wherever we wanted to go, whatever the desire of our soul was, the stairs would move. Like, they would turn a corner, or they would go off in a top left, or turn to go right. But I was aware that I was having this deep spiritual experience, and the voice was speaking to me about what I was experiencing. But as I was looking out, I was like, look at all these people having their own stairway to heaven experience. And on my experience, I was hearing and seeing the cry of my soul, my desires, my heart's desires. So in mine, it was like very creative, and it was like seeking and searching and trying to explore. I was singing, I was like being extremely creative, I was speaking. And in this moment, Spirit was speaking so strongly to me about your soul calling and how different it is to your human life, living a spiritual life, bringing heaven on earth into this vessel. I was shown that as humans, we have a functioning brain, but that brain as a human, without the additional experience of allowing spirit to inhabit your being, your brain is set on certain patterns which are survival, very primal, and to keep us safe. And I was seeing that we do things very linear with this brain capacity in an earthly dimension. So let's say, I don't know, one day as a little girl, I went into a swimming pool and I got in the steps on the left-hand side, and I swam a length and I came back and I didn't die. So next time I go to the swimming pool, I'm going to do the same pattern. Everything was about patterns and repetition that made us, we tried something but very small, and then we ascertained whether that was a safe pattern to repeat, and if it was, we would repeat it. And Spirit was saying that type of brain pattern is death. It's death. It takes you nowhere. You just repeat. You're on a spin cycle in the washing machine. Then I saw myself on these stairs, and there was this huge brain in the universe, and it had all these like neon colors and vibrancy, and it was like, I can only describe like God's brain, huge brain, and it had, everything was lit up, and there was like blue neural pathways lit up, but it looked and it felt so alive and exciting. And then I realized that everyone on these stairs was a part of this brain, and their soul path was a neuro pathway in God's brain. And all that was happening was this brain was wishing to experience things, and so it had sort of put itself everywhere to experience all the aspects of itself. And I was one little aspect of it, and I was called the explorer. And I was like, me, the explorer? I wasn't really identifying. I mean, I know I love to learn, and then Spirit was like, you're so keen to explore and learn the things outside of yourself, the things outside of these realms. You're always traveling. It's like a spiritual explorer. And then Jesus appeared to me and he said, you are going to be a great teacher because you're going to share these explorations that you have, because your soul has the desire to see outside of yourself and to understand spiritual experiences in which you will long to share. That is part of your soul calling. And so I saw myself as this bright pink neuro pathway that had this desire to experience spiritual exploration and to experience what life is like outside of what we see and feel out of the five senses. And then I saw myself dropping into my body as a human, like a Russian doll. Like there was 3 aspects in every human. And some people were just living, as I say, in this very human version with absolutely no awareness of this other side of them that we all have the capacity to experience. And their neuro pathways were straight lines, or they were appearing to me as straight lines. And then I was comparing, like, what's the difference between a human neuro pathway, and everything that Jesus was showing me was very like a parable. I knew it wasn't, I was like, oh, this is being shown to me in a way in which I can understand. But it was like the neuro pathway was from A to B, it was straight. Whereas the neuro pathways, the way they looked on these stairs and in these heavenly realms, were like a spinning DNA. They were just spiraling, and they were like living. They were like, woo, and they were just spinning off, and they seemed to have life, and they weren't A to B. They had the life of an explorer within them. They had the life of expansion and growth. And they weren't going from A to B and then that would be it, and then they repeated that thing. They were just spinning off all over the place with such life and vibrancy, like these kind of little dancing beings. And so Spirit was saying to me, in order for you to change your neuro pathways, you have to break out of the way that your brain or your human being has been functioning. So this is why people have traumatic events or life altering, where they're almost like derailed, to wake them up. And that's a gift. And we can see like traumatic events or things that have really altered out the way that our life looks, thrown us out of our comfort zone, whether it be through a death or a divorce or a change of circumstance, or, you know, losing your home or whatever it might be. Those things were like wake-up calls, and they derailed us out of our comfort, which was a gift, because Spirit was trying to get your attention to say, break that pattern or that cycle, that perpetual cycle of comfort, because there is no growth there. There is zero growth there, and your soul is dying, or not dying, but it's squished down. It can't do what it wants to do, so you become depressed, and you're looking, why am I unfulfilled? Why is this not happening? Why can't I do that? When really what Spirit was saying is, wake up, get out of those patterns. And he was showing me like ways that you can train your brain, just simple things. He was saying, take a different route to work. Brush your teeth with the wrong hand. Change your hair color. Change the way you look. Like, start dressing different. Move house. Like, change something in your life that takes you out of that repetitive pattern, and that will start to activate something in your neuro pathways that is almost like an opening for you for your soul to say, hey, I'm here, I've been here all along, can we do some spinny, shiny, explorative, fun stuff, please? I want to expand, and I know you do, because I live within you, but you're ignoring me, you're asleep, please wake up, wake up. I had to let my cat in, she was scratching at the glass. Yeah, and the way that everything's so different there. But what I was seeing is you can coexist in all these places at once. There is no here and there. Some people think, oh, I'll go to heaven when I die. That's not the point. The point is you live a spiritual existence here on earth, in this vessel, in this body, whilst you walk the earth. And the people that can do that, there are laws in this realm, like gravity and time. There's certain rules. And when you're activating or working from that place, those rules don't apply. So when you start living from that spiritual place, what you're going to be doing down here will appear as miracles.